Hola! Thank you guys for coming in to check out Messy Kitchen. Today,
Hey, I hope you guys like this new little background. We might keep it for a little bit. I just need a little bit of change. And also, I thought I'd cover more of my messy pan a little bit.
Today on this episode, we are going to do Spanish rice. It's part 2 of our 3 segment on chili rellenos. So I want to thank everybody. I also want to say remember to push that subscription button and dingle that little bell. So it'll help us. And if you have any comments about something you want us to do, go ahead and add it to the comments section.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien, muy bien. Descansa en paz.
Alright, you guys, welcome again to Messy Kitchen. As you saw previously, we're doing chili rellenos, but we're doing this in 3 different segments. So please make sure you check out for our homemade enchilada sauce, because that's going to top off the meal this evening. And it is New Year's, and Happy New Year's to everybody else. Let's get 2021 with a big bang. It's going to be absolutely awesome. So I've never made Spanish rice before. I've never done it, so we are going to go step by step. And I have pre-prepped what I believe that we need. So this is going to be a new kind of journey for everyone here, okay?
So what I'm doing at the moment, I gotta stop saying at the moment, son of a weed, what we're doing next, son of a weed.
So what I understand from this, the first thing we need to do is heat up our pan. Now, a lot of times when I first started cooking, I put the oil in the pan and let it heat up. Apparently, I've been doing it backwards this whole time. So you're supposed to let your pan heat up and then put your oil in it and then the ingredients that you want to have. And I don't necessarily understand the difference between regular rice or long rice. I'm sure there is, but I have a generic white rice. We always have that on stock. We're going to try it there. I'm sure it's not exactly what I need. We're going to try to make this work the best that we can with the ingredients that we have. That's the whole thing about Messy Kitchen. It's not necessarily that you have the exact ingredients, but you use the ingredients that you have at the moment.
I need to stop saying at the moment. What's another good word for at the moment? Take a shot. Happy New Year's. Good idea. Alright, take a shot. Take your beer. Happy New Year's. Alright.
And if you watch my fried chicken video, I told you that you can feel the heat of the pan, and it's pretty much getting there to what I want. I can hover my hand over it, and it's fine. And now it says 1/8 of a cup. About having these plastic ones, if you can tell, I've used it so much that it's all washed off. So I would really tell you to consider getting something with glass, because it won't wash off. And you know what? Screw it. I don't care. I'm just going to guess. If they're saying like 1/8, I know that you have to have your pan covered with oil. So we are going to just go ahead and do that. It's going to absorb a lot. So I'm just going to make sure I have, there. That looks pretty good to me. And this is going to be olive oil. And we're going to let this cover. Make sure you rotate your pan, cover it up pretty well. Now it has a high smoking point, so we really have to pay attention and watch this. And we're going to let it heat up just a little bit longer. Yeah, and we have to put a tablespoon of butter in with the oil. I know that's not what the recipe called. The instruction says we're going to put the rice in this oil. And again, yes, I added butter to it. We are going to get your spatula, get a spoon, whatever you're more comfortable with. And where's my favorite spatula? I don't know. Alright, we're going to go to the wooden spoon again. Now, from the instructions, from what I understand, you mix this all in. Integrate the oil with your rice.
So I'm going to be quiet now. You're just going to let us cook. So take it up here.
So I'm going to go ahead and have this this on. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit because it talks about cooking the rice. It gets to a certain temperature. And okay. So I'm going to do chicken stock. I believe it said it was 4 cups with your chicken stock. Actually, the recipe calls for 4 cups of water and then a chicken stock cube, but I've told you before I don't necessarily like those. We are just going to go ahead and pour it in and cover up that rice. Look at that. Now, for the directions, I did turn it down a little bit. That's going to absorb that. Chicken stock is going to come all together with the seasoning, but it calls for more seasoning. Again, we're doing the Spanish rice. I'm already doing it without. So it's going to be a little bit different. It calls for 8 ounces of tomato paste. I didn't want to use just all the sauce. I wanted to have some chunks of tomato. Yes.
Oh, sorry, it's supposed to be tomato sauce. Yeah. If I said tomato paste, I'm sorry, it's supposed to be tomato sauce. Tomato sauce.
75% of the can of this. I am going to put about 25% of these diced tomatoes and green peppers because I'm going to put a little bit of this in there. Like I said, about 25%. We can use this for another recipe. Now also, here, let's stir this up just a little bit. If you're making any kind of sauce like this, they always suggest you have it turned up because when it starts boiling, it's when you turn it back down again and put your cover on it. The reason is so it can take off some of the vapors, the air vapors on it. But this recipe calls for a little bit more. It calls for cilantro. Now it said cilantro stems. Okay, it didn't make a lot of sense to me. Why am I going to do the stems when the cilantro is more about the leaves? So I'm going to put some cilantro leaves in there. And again, I will put the instructions on the side how much. This is just going to be for flavoring. I put some cilantro. Now it also called for, and it didn't specify in the recipe how much. It just says a dash of cumin. Now, if you're unsure about just placing it in the pot itself, just go ahead and put it on your hand. Then you can know how much it comes out. They also asked for a garlic pepper. I don't have the garlic pepper. So the best thing for me to do is actually get the garlic itself. I'm going to put just a little bit of the garlic salt in here. Just a splash. Alright. Now we are going to put some, I believe it's the white pepper in there. Actually, white pepper I found is a little bit stronger than regular pepper. I will have to research why it is. Ooh, I just got a little bit, so I'm going to, again, if you don't have a teaspoon, it says a dab. I'm just going to put it in the pot, like so. And then we are going to put a little bit of salt. Now, this is regular salt. You can go differently. It's all the way you want it to go. Okay, so I'm just going to put a splash in there. And I'm going to take my spoon. We are going to go ahead and stir this up.
You need to, you can walk away for a couple minutes, but oh, you motherfucker!
So, you have the temperature down low. Liquid's going to absorb into the rice with all the flavoring. Yes, you have the lid over there, and you're going to walk away. But I highly suggest coming in here and stirring it a little bit, just to check on it. You can use an Instapot, but that Instapots are great. I mean, especially for mothers and fathers on the go, it tends to burn. It doesn't. It's very basic and it's very generic. It's like going through fast food. You know, you're trying to make a good meal. You're trying to make it quick.
And I got to get a new pizza. I need it. So, anyway, sidetrack. Another thing is
Pots. I love crock pots. They help me sometimes, but that's okay. So I'm going to let this go ahead and simmer. We're going to take a break, and we're going to periodically come in and look at it. Make sure you take a taste. Just take your spoon, taste it, see if it's too al dente, which we've explained before, or maybe it's done. So when it's done, we're going to put this to the side. This is a side dish for the chili rellenos. See you in a little bit, people. So we've learned, we tasted it, it's a little bit too al dente. Al dente is good on some things, and al dente. I know you're right.
You all have one of those at home, alright? Don't be laughing at me. Get your own person. Got it? You like them?
We're gonna add a little bit water, okay? It's a little bit too al dente. I'm thinking I'm putting maybe a cup of water in here. We're gonna go ahead and stir it up. Put about another cup. And everybody says maybe some more spices. So why don't we put just a little bit more pepper in it? I did the white pepper earlier. So why don't we do a little bit of just some black pepper? Now, if everybody's griping about they need a little bit spicier, but you're not a huge spice lover, I would suggest you put a splash again of the cayenne pepper, because cayenne pepper, it has a slow build to it. Make it your own. If you don't want any more spice, don't add it. But my suggestion is to let it cook a little bit more with the water. Put a splash of the cayenne pepper. We are going to go ahead and stir this. Keep it on low for a little bit longer, and then we will check it in just a minute. Because we have. I was supposed to put minced garlic in here. I didn't do it, so I'm going to put it in now. Garlic. The secret to garlic, if you do not understand, is the fact is that garlic should only be cooked, caramelized, or when you put it in with your onions to brown it better. You should only cook your onions on a high heat no longer than 1 minute. Because if you do more than a minute, then it becomes very, very, very bitter. So you have to keep it within 30 seconds to 1 minute before you put your liquids in, and then it won't be as bitter. But I messed up. I hope nobody notices. And that rice, it looks excellent. Here. Oh. Okay, look. Now the rice is done. And that fresh garlic we just put in. Wow. That's good. Maybe it wasn't too bad that I mistakenly forgot the garlic. It's very pungent, but it comes off beautifully in your mouth. The rice still is on the tad bit al dente, but it's going to finish the rest of the way. And with the tomatoes, the garlic, and that little hint of the pepper, oh, that's good. Yeah, what do you think, Pedro?
Concur.
This may not look pretty, but we all have messy kitchens. But that's the way we live. See you on the flip side.